tires are arguably the most important thing that you have to check on your motorcycle, because that is what keeps you braking and handling and keeping the motorcycle comfortable so you can enjoy it as long as possible. We're going to go over checking your tread depth, as well as checking your tire pressure and checking for any abnormal wear. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over checking your tire pressure, because that's probably one of the most vital. So right here, you would have your valve stem. Normally you'd have a cap on here. If you don't, I recommend one. It keeps dust and dirt out of there, keeps you from losing pressure out of that as quickly. Just going to take a quick gauge, pop it on there. You can see here, it's only at like 21 PSI, 22, somewhere around there. Obviously that's pretty low. So it's going to vary for each model based upon your owner's manual. Recommend checking that and getting familiar with your motorcycle. Obviously this will need to be aired up quite a bit. It's probably about half of what it should be. Keep in mind you only have 2 small contact patches that keep your motorcycle in touch with the ground, and that's what helps you handle, brake, and maneuver safely. It also keeps the motorcycle much more comfortable, and it will help reduce maintenance costs later on, as well as improving tire wear and fuel mileage. The next thing we're going to check is tread depth. I've got a few different examples here. This is a tire that has very good tread depth. So we have gauges like this. You can also check online. There's different methods as far as using a penny, things like that. Realistically, these gauges only cost a few dollars. It's worth it to have one in your saddlebag or your toolbox, just so you have an accurate reference. So you just take this, you put it firmly into the tread, push it down and onto this flat spot, and that's what actually measures it. So you want to measure where it says 30 seconds of an inch. Okay, so this one says it's right at about 9/30 seconds. That is great tread depth, very safe. The minimum state requirement and the minimum safe is 2/30 seconds tread depth. Anything less than that, we recommend getting a tire immediately. It is unsafe, and it would not pass state inspection. Next thing, I'll show you one that has less tread depth. Even though it might look okay, realistically it is not. So this actually has abnormal wear. Okay, you can see here where it's a little bit thicker than over here. All right, so if we take the same gauge, you can put it in right here in the middle, and we'll see that we are at about 5/30 seconds. Okay. However, over here we have 0. You can see that it's pretty well no tread depth at all. Okay. So even though you might use the gauge in one spot, you need to check the tread throughout the entire contact patch of the motorcycle tire. If you go into a corner and it's raining or there's gravel, anything like that, hitting it over here, you could go down. Could cause a collision and much, much worse things. This one here, again, you've got some abnormal wear. This is what we call cupping. I don't know if you might be able to see, but probably easier from the side, where you can see that you have high points and low points. Okay. So that's normally caused by low tire pressure or riding in a straight line, not leaning over as much. You're going to have more wear on just the flat surface as opposed to getting into the corners. And that can cause problems as you go into a corner, a high-speed turn, anything like that, because you're not actually having the whole contact patch. You're only getting the high spots at that point. Okay? So obviously it's also an unsafe condition. So if you have any questions about your tires or tires in general, or if you think you might have a safety hazard with one of your tires, there's a concern you have, anything you want us to look at, you can either get the bike brought up here, or you can take a picture, as long as it's a very clear picture, and you can either send it to us on our Facebook page, or even send it in an email to us, and we can take a look at it, and we'll analyze your tire, and we'll let you know whether or not we would recommend riding it, or if you should find a way of getting it here for us to take a closer look at and potentially replace your tire for you.